everyone, and welcome to Around Berks County. I'm John Pagerly, your host for this evening, and tonight we're going to be visiting Muhlenberg Township. And we got to spend some time there recently. We'll see some videotape of some of the folks there. But with me tonight are three of the officials for the Muhlenberg Township. And we've come in and we're going to talk about a lot of things going on in the area. So to my immediate left is Jim Murray. Jim is the president of the board of supervisors, commissioners, excuse me, at Muhlenberg. Thanks a lot for coming in, Jim.
Sure, my pleasure.
Next to Jim is Mike Malinowski, vice president of the board. Welcome.
Thanks for having us. And
also is Doug Didyoung, who is the township engineer and codes guy. I can say that. So anyway, just to say, there's a lot of things going on in Muhlenberg. I mean, there's always is. It's a very busy township, and we're going to talk. I guess this is kind of just free flowing. We're going to talk about whatever you want to. Also want to remind the folks out there that if you have any questions for either of these gentlemen about Muhlenberg, feel free to call in. The number's on your screen: 610-378-0426. Feel free to call in. So Jim, what do you want to talk about first? What's the most pressing thing going on in Muhlenberg right now?
Well, there's quite a few pressing things going on in Muhlenberg right now. We just took a bond out for $10 million to do our Jim Dietrich's Park. We want to put a couple of baseball fields back there and some public restrooms. With the growing number of children in the township, athletic fields are at a premium right now, and we feel that we can get that portion of the park up and running. About a year and a half ago, I started a program called Tomcat, which is Township of Muhlenberg Crime Alert Tips. It is essentially a Muhlenberg Crime Watch organization. Hyde Park area, which was our Zone 1, that was the first group of people that were up and running because they had some significant problems there. Since then, the problems have disappeared. Muhlenberg Park, Riverview Park, and all the subdivisions west of 61 is our Zone 3, and they are up and running now. We have about 80 volunteers in that area, and they're running every night of the week. We have 2 patrols, 2 people in a car, and the only area that is not up and running at this point is our Zone 2, which is our Temple area. I've tried a couple of times, and I guess the people in Temple don't think they have problems, but there are problems in Temple. There are problems in Spring Township. There are problems in Exeter. If a township tells you they don't have the aftermath of what's in the city, they're lying to you. We do have that problem. So I'm kind of proud that we are making a difference, and we're getting some of the things that we need to get out so that the people know there are some things that we will not tolerate in the township, and that is a good way for us to be the eyes and ears of the police department, and it's working out.
Yeah, the police need help.
The police do need help. I've hired 6 new policemen since I've been there in 2005, and hopefully I can put another 5 on in the next 2 years. So I found an independent study last year which was completed in 1997, and they required, it was recommended that we have 33 policemen. At the time, we had 28. So I'm just kind of bringing us up to speed there.
Yeah.
The township is growing. We have a statistic in the township which I'm not particularly proud of. We are the busiest police department other than the city of Reading. We answer a little over 2,000 police calls a month.
Really, second to Reading. That's interesting.
Yes.
And you have a lot of traffic issues in Muhlenberg,
well,
too.
Well, that's true. There are 2 major highways going through the township, and that's a big portion of it. Spring Township is right behind us, and Exeter is right behind them. So, like I said, if other municipalities are telling you they don't have a problem,
everybody has problems.
Everybody's got problems, absolutely.
Now, Mike, you mentioned the police. I don't know how much involved you are with the police and all that sort of thing, but what do you think about the countywide police, and any thoughts as far as Muhlenberg's perspective of that? I know there's been a lot of talk about trying to pull together a lot of the...
Yeah, I guess, I mean, we have to wait to see what the study says, what the county commissioners are working on right now. Muhlenberg is such an active and busy police department right now, and just kind of where we're located, I think it's just a little product. We are pretty much centrally located in the county to start with, and Commissioner Murray and Chief Grunzik have done a lot of good things there to help. I mean, the one thing that we have to remember is the way Pennsylvania is built, the Commonwealth is built. It's a lot of local governments, and people like community policing. And one of the most important things about a police department is people getting to know who their local police folks are. So it'll be interesting to see how the study, the countywide study, really addresses that. I think Muhlenberg folks have gotten to know some of our officers from the bike patrols and getting out and walking the streets, because we still have a community that is pretty tight-knit and has been around for a while. So the policing side, I think, is going extremely well. Just to comment a little bit on what Jim said about the bond that we're taking out, one thing as a local official, you hear about the day-to-day life problems, and the number one we hear about is roads. Everyone wants their roads to be paved, and we're putting a lot of that money into the road program. So we have a kind of bottleneck out, and Doug can probably talk a little bit at Tuckerton Road. For years, people have been asking for an extra lane. A lot of the money that we're getting there is going to go towards that extra lane. We're trying to get our federal and state officials to help us out with that, so maybe we can make a ploy for some money for that also in some way. But we're going to do a lot of work on some major roadways, and even the stimulus package that went through the Reading Area Transportation Committee, a lot of that money is going through roads that touch Muhlenberg Township. So I think people in 3 years are going to see a huge, huge improvement in newly paved roads in Muhlenberg Township. So.
Well, I'll go for that Tuckerton exchange improvement any day, because it's an hassle sometimes.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, sure.
But, you know, yeah, Muhlenberg is like a crossroad, has a lot of crossroads in it,
yeah.
and a lot of people travel through it. So, now, Doug, as far as the engineering side of things, one thing we visited when we were out there was Felix Dam.
Yes.
And, you know, we're going to show in our tape when we're going to start that in a few minutes. Tell us a little bit about that project, so when people see it on the tape, they get an appreciation for that.
Well, the interesting fact about that was I wasn't too much involved with Felix Dam being removed. Our director of parks at the time, Steve Landis, who's now our township manager, really spearheaded that. That old crib dam had finally come down in one of the floods. Right. And to clean it up was really a monumental project, getting all the various agencies to cooperate, from the Army Corps to DEP to EPA. You can imagine the studies that had to be done before they were allowed to do anything. But I think what it did was it opened up that whole riverfront area for the park system at Jim Dietrich Park, and the area down near the foot of Whitner Road, where we have a park as well. It just opens it up better for people to be able to walk that area, use that area, possibly even do some boating and things like that, you know, canoeing, that kind of thing that they didn't do before with the dam. I mean, yeah, there was boating, but that was just a different type and style of things. I think this is going to be a different look and a much more natural look. They did a great job on the bank and restoring the lock, as I think you and I saw out there. Yep. There's a lot of history sitting right there. Yeah,
it's a great place to go visit and just enjoy nature a little bit. As the weather starts to warm up, hopefully people start taking advantage of that.
And I don't think people realize just how old that is. The Schuylkill Canal was right there, and that's, as I told you, the one dam was built in the 1850s and then was replaced. So you can imagine what all went through there, the traffic that went through there, the old coal barges and hauled by a mule.
Well, part of the Industrial Revolution, you know, and all that. So it's a very important part of the United States history. Well, I think right now we're going to take a break. We're going to go to some tape. We're going to visit Muhlenberg Township, and after that, we'll be right back.